Hello and welcome back to the Onlyfabs channel. Today we're at this JS145 that's got a rather mashed pin, very slack worn pin on its dipper ram. So basically what we're here to do today is we're going to take the ram itself off. We're going to take it back to the workshop, and for some of you will know, some of you won't know, we've bought a line boring machine. And as fiddly as it is, what I'm going to do is I'm going to set it up on the end of the ram, bore it out, weld it up, bore it back to the correct size, and I've had two bosses made. When I come back, put the ram on, cut these old bosses out, weld the new bosses in, and hopefully she will be absolutely tight and good as new. So yeah, that's what we're on with today. So we're on site this morning. We're come to rectify this very well worn JS145 dipper ram, very worn. So what we've done is I've had a new boss made for either side of the arm. So this side and the other side, I'll show you the other side in a minute, it's way worse. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this ram off, take this back to the workshop and set the line boring machine up. First job for the line boring machine. Set it up either side and bore and weld that out to the correct size for the new pin and bushes. So I've got the pins out of the ram, and as you can see, this is the pinhole they've been running, and this is what it should be. The end of the ram doesn't look too bad, but it is worn. So you can see we'll take that, we'll bore it out, we'll build it back up, and then we'll come back and we'll change them, and then she'll be as good as new again. So first line boring job, all the goodies are in that box there. And basically what we're going to do is we're going to bring the end of this ram back to life. It's all worn on this side and it's not much better on the other side, so we'll get it all paralleled back up again. I have got the facing tools as well, but I think I'm going to have to tack my bearings just quite close. So yeah, not ideal. This is bushed at the minute, but the age of the machine and one thing or another, I just said to the customer what were his thoughts, and he's happy for me just to build it up with weld and bore it back out to the size of the new pin. So that's what we're going to do basically. So I've whipped the grease seal out. I've obviously set me a bit of rag over there. What I aim at doing is I aim at building this bit up first and making it back flat again, so that we have a nice surface to go from. And then once I've done this side, I'll turn it round and do the other side, because the other side's gouged out in here. So we'll try and get it somewhat like. I'm going to weld around the bush to get the bush out. Then basically we'll set the machine up, and once it's set up, then I need to pull it out and put the welder in and weld it up. I think I'm going to use 2 runs of weld into here to get it right. And yeah, today is a big learning day, because it's the first job. How could go wrong, couldn't it? I don't really have to fancy buying a new one of these. Right, so I've prepped both sides. There was a bit rubbed out on the inside of this side and the outside of the opposite side. So anyway, I've welded and flatted both them off. I do have a facing tool for both of my bars, both the 35 and the 50. But seeing as though it's first time out, today is what you call a school day, because we've got a big day learning, haven't we? So anyway, I'm going to turn it on its side and then I'm going to try and get it set up. I'll be honest, I've seen it done. It didn't look complicated, but it is a bit daunting. So who knows? We'll just beaver away and hopefully it'll work, because at this point I'm contemplating my decisions. So I've previously made a bracket, put my control box on top of my little stand so it's not on the floor, or I don't require anywhere to put it. Hopefully that'll make my life easier. And the rest of the machine's in that van vault. So let's get cracked on, eh? So first time out, right, so what I've done is I've tapped this bit of box section on to stop the eye of the ram moving, and I've set this bar up with my location cones in the middle, and I've tapped my bearings on both sides. I need to go around, tighten the Allen keys up on these. There's 6 of them so that none of them can move, and then I'm going to put my motor on the end. Like I say, this is the first time out, so I might be doing it all wrong. I'm not entirely sure, but hopefully it'll work out all right. The Jurassic in the background, we've had that a few months now. What a bit of kit. As you can hear, the water cooler on it is quite noisy. Other than that, I've no complaints. Few daft little niggles as far as torch holders, daft bits, but nothing that bothers you from day to day. But what a welder that is. If you're looking for a big welder for the money, they are fantastic. Can't recommend them enough. If you want to give us a shout, I'll put you in touch with a man that'll do you a good deal. Man who we got ours off or through. Anyway, back to the job in hand, the line boring machine. So the stand's on here. I've made a plate for the back of that control box so it cannot fall off. That's a stand that I got off TikTok shop. A lot of folks have called them, but as you can see there's another one just there. Look in the background, I've got 2 because I like them and the 2 work together lovely as a pair. But yeah, so we're on with our first setup. And I have this to weld as well, so we get to first time out, we get tried all. Is that good? Probably not, but anyway, here we are, we're doing it, aren't we? So let's go for it. Right, I'll put you back on time lapse and we'll do a bit more. So as you can see, I've got the motor mounted, I've got the location cones out, the motor's on, it's plugged into the box, and we've come across a bit of a stumbling block. because he ain't got a blue plug. So I'm going to have to rob a 3-pin plug off something for today and then put it back onto this when I've finished, and I'll have to get myself set up with a blue plug. So yeah, these things are set to trials. I knew today wouldn't go smooth. It never does. First time out, but it's all a learning curve. It's all right. It's all right. We're learning. You know, we're learning. We set up to now. I haven't come across any issues. I know I haven't started yet, but no issues so far, other than the plug. So yeah, the first issue of the day, the fact that we can't plug the machine in. It's not a great start, is it? But hey ho, we'll get there. So we now have a plugless grinder. Not over the moon I've got to do this, but failure is never an option, as we always say. So we'll put it onto the 3-pin plug for the day. Because originally, the idea is it'll run off my welder generator in the back of the van as time progresses. Some of you on here will know we bought a Sprinter 5-ton twin wheel. So, but I bought it out of Copart. Was it a mistake? Probably. Will we sort it? Of course we will. So yeah, so nothing's ever plain sailing, is it? But yeah, it maybe wasn't the greatest idea I had. I maybe would have been better off just buying a 3.5 that didn't need a lot of work. But I've always wanted a 5-ton Sprinter, so I thought it was worth taking the risk. Whether I live to regret that is another matter, but I certainly won't tell the world if I do, because my missus said I shouldn't buy it. So if it is a regret, I certainly won't be broadcasting it, because it'll get back to her. And then she'll say, I told you. We can't have that, can we? So after today's job, that's only half of the job that we're doing, basically, because the bosses on the machine are much more worn than the RAM. as you'll have seen at the start of the video. So once we've got the ram sorted, we're going to go with the welder. There goes the good old compressor. We're going to go with the welder and the gas bottles, gas the bosses out of the side of the arm, and weld the new ones in. There we go, wired up. Moment of truth. So you've seen this for the first time, the same as I am. So as you can see, I've connected my 3 plugs there onto my motor, and we have power coming in. Bore control. So if I go to rotate clockwise, helps if I turn it on. Now we're farming. So we'll go for a clockwise spin. By how quiet's that, eh? Bloody hell. So it would turn out that maximum rotation is 255 RPM and minimum rotation is 50. So yeah. So we've got the MIG torch set up in the middle. As you can see, it's just poking out there. I've rigged it up to our little 250 stealth, because the Jurassic won't run 0.5. Sorry, 0.5, 0.8. Got myself middled up there. Like I say, it's been a big day learning so far. So yeah, we're earth on, welder on. I've set this on to weld. I've set the bore diameter at 80mm, and I've selected, I don't really know. So yeah, wish me luck. So now we're maybe going to have a test run. Oh, that's good. Spun you around, look. And we're having a bit of a test run on the old welder. She's going round and round at that, look. I tell you what, that maybe won't be so bad. I quite like that. Bloody nifty there, isn't it? Hey, I tell you what, I'm like a kid at Christmas. We're boring, boys. We're boring. And boring is exactly what this job is. Yeah. So I think we've finally got somewhere where we're dialed in. Yeah, so it's welding away at that. On its second pass, so still building up what we need to build up. And basically I've done one pass over the box, and now I've come back to the start and I'm passing over it again to make it double. What I've done is I've removed this bearing off this end, just over there, just so I could see a bit better what was going on, whether that's the right thing to do or not, I'm not sure. So I've set the bore diameter at 85%, 85mm even on there. And then on the little welder, which we normally take to site, I'm set at 60 amps. 15.5, 15.7 volt. Beautiful little machine that is. Digi-mig cell. Generator friendly, obviously. We run it off a 8 kilowatt power mac, and yeah, runs really well. We're boring, boys. We're boring. And boring is exactly what this job is. Yeah. And there we have it, look. She fits like an absolute glove. Not bad for a first attempt. So here we've got the two outside bosses and the pin in the drill, which is driving itself down. I've drilled the boss already. Now I'm just drilling the pin. I've obviously got it set in the two V-locks, so I've got the boss that's going to have the retention bolt in, and then the boss that will go at the other side of the ram all together, so that it's completely level and true and right. And then once this drill's gone all the way down through, it can't be wrong, the bolt will line up perfectly. So yeah, that's it. So there we have it, it's in, it's drilled. The pin's obviously drilled all the way through. This boss can get welded to one side, this boss will get welded to the other side, then nothing can go anywhere again. Good as new, if not better, because I don't think JCB put quite as big a boss as that in somehow. So yeah, top job. So, first line boring job going back together in dark. Look, new TikTok light up job. Slack all now. Much better, much better.